The E-Class has always been the car people actually bought when they could not quite stretch to an S-Class. What changed with this generation is that the gap got a lot harder to see. You sit in this one and you stop thinking about what you gave up. The version on the floor here is the E214 Matic, finished in a deep navy blue, wearing a price that, in this market, lands at roughly $94,000. That number is the whole conversation, and we will get to whether it makes sense. Start with the shape. Mercedes kept the upright star on the bonnet and the classic chrome grille, and that single decision tells you who this car is for. It is not chasing the slippery, anonymous look of the electric range. The proportions are long and calm, the window line drops gently toward the back, and the whole thing reads as restrained rather than loud. The navy paint helps. Under the showroom lights it shifts between black and deep blue depending on where you stand, and it hides the surface creases that look fussy in brighter colors. The rear is the cleanest angle, with the three-pointed star taillights that you either love or find a little too clever. The multi-spoke wheels fill the arches without shouting, and the chrome strip along the lower body catches just enough light to feel deliberate rather than decorative. It is a design that ages slowly, which at this money is exactly what you want. Inside is where the S-Class comparison stops being flattery and starts being a problem for Mercedes' own flagship. The dashboard runs almost wall-to-wall in screens, and the ambient lighting wraps the cabin in a soft pink that you can change to almost anything. The seats here are finished in a light cream leather with a quilted diamond pattern, and they look far more expensive than the badge suggests. It is not overdone, which is important. You get the sense of a cabin designed to be sat in for 6 hours at a stretch, not just photographed. I will give you one honest reservation, because it matters at this money. The steering wheel uses haptic touch panels instead of real buttons, and they are genuinely frustrating. A light brush changes the radio or the cluster when you did not mean to, and you find yourself looking down to fix something that a physical button would have solved without a glance. It is the one place the cabin trades usability for a clean look. What softens it is the rest of the system around it, because the latest MBUX setup here is quick, sharp, and far better laid out than the wheel that controls part of it. If breakdowns like this are what help you decide, subscribe so you catch the next one before you walk into a showroom. Move to the back and the space is good without being limousine grade. 2 adults sit in genuine comfort, with their own climate control and charging, and headroom is fine even under the panoramic glass roof. The one catch is the large central tunnel, which makes the middle seat a short trip-only proposition. For a family of 4, none of that matters. For 5 adults regularly, it is worth knowing before you sign. The boot is the part that quietly wins people over. At 540 liters, it is a touch larger than both the BMW 5 Series and the Audi A6, which means a full family airport run with 2 large cases, and the soft bags on top is a non-event. The opening is wide, the floor is flat, and the load lip is low enough that you are not hoisting a suitcase over an edge. It is the kind of practicality that does not show up in a brochure photo, but shows up every single week you own the car. Under the bonnet is where expectations need managing, and where this car is smarter than its spec sheet looks. There is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder making 201 horsepower, with all-wheel drive and a mild hybrid system that adds a small electric boost and smooths out the stop-start crawl. 201 horsepower in a car this size is not quick, and 0 to 60 takes around 7.5 seconds. But the way it delivers that power is the point. It pulls cleanly, the 9-speed gearbox is almost invisible, and the 4MATIC traction means it never feels caught out in the wet. There is a quiet confidence to how it gathers speed, the kind that makes a long motorway stint feel shorter than it is. This was never meant to be the fast E-Class. It was meant to be the effortless one, and on that measure, it delivers. So back to that $94,000 question. On raw performance, this is not the car that wins the argument. On everything else, the cabin, the refinement, the boot, the sense of occasion every time you open the door, it makes a stronger case than the horsepower figure ever could. The E-Class used to be the sensible alternative to the flagship. This generation has quietly become the car that makes you wonder why you would spend more. If that holds up on the road the way it does on a showroom floor, the badge above it has a real problem. For watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Leave a comment below with your thoughts or questions. I read every single one. And don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified about my next upload. See you in the next video.